about single, and I was mentioning how even in this point in my 30-somethings, God has basically revealed to me that it's just not my season. It's my single season. Let me make this clear. I lack no enthusiasm when it comes to like the drawing of the men. Like my milkshake bring all of them, right? I mean, not saying it in the wrong way, but I'm just saying like I know how to date. Done it well. In fact, I always tell like male friends of mine, like, don't be my friend because you're trying to see how you can get in, because it's a very dangerous zone for you, because I will put you in the friend zone for a very necessary reason, for your health and not my own, because you will fall in love. And what I mean by that is I actually have seen like good men in relationships and dated them and experienced like good times, and then realize that I get to the point where it's like they're all in, I'm having a good time, I'm enjoying the dating, but I know he's not it. Like I don't see my future. And so because I've dated so much just to do something, like don't want to be alone, like want the attention. Like I think for me, honestly, the biggest thing with dating for me was never really for my husband, because I just in the last year and a half of my life realized that I'm supposed to be married. I said I never wanted to be married. I didn't feel like it was necessary for the type of life I thought I was going to live. 2, I felt like it was way too much work for me to give to another human who's going to disappoint me. And 3, realized it was all out of fear. So a lot of my dating was just because I wanted to feel time, I wanted to feel space, and I wanted to feel insecurity. So if I'm dating someone, he's taking me out, we're spending this time, it was just kind of making me feel more validated. Then it came a season where it was like, that ain't even enough. Like, okay, you cute, now I need a little bit more. I want a variety. So dating for me just became like this downward spiral of just me really exercising the ability to receive male attention. I don't know if that even makes sense to some people, but I had to acknowledge that I was misusing it, if that makes sense. That might make better sense. So then I come to this life now where I'm being much more accountable, not just to the people around me, but to myself. And I had to realize that, and I'm realizing it now, that I got to this single place not because I'm not supposed to be married, or not because I've cursed myself, or not because I mistreated the male species, or not because I had sex before I was married, or none of that. I've come to this single place because there is a relationship that supersedes every relationship. And if you can get the principle of how to commune and koinonia, the Bible talks about spending time with God. We often say prayer is our way to connect with God, but it's so much more, just like in relationship. I never like a man that just texts me. That's a sure sign we won't go that far. I want to hear from you. I want to talk to you. I want to see you face to face. So as I perfect this with my relationship with the Father, it has already given me better insight on the dating scenario. I've gotten to the place now where I don't even so much desire to date, and I'm not so afraid of the singleness. I'm more so dealing with the reflection of myself, like what's come out. Like, what am I weak in? Like, I'm weak with consistency. Like, I go hard. Like, one week I'll be up praying on it. That next week I want to fast. I'm all into it. And then all of a sudden I hit 30 days and I'm like, whew, I gave it my all. Okay, what's next? So these type of things have started to come out, and God has shown it to me. And because I've allowed myself to relinquish into this relationship of, sacrifice and obedience with Him, it's brought so much out of me that I haven't even had time to consider what it would be like, honestly, to indulge in a real dating scenario. I feel like this season of my life has been separated for this particular moment to truly make me into the good wife, like the wife that my husband is waiting to find, if that makes sense. And I share that out of saying this, that I know there's different levels of dating, and some people are, young and dating, and some people are with children and dating, and some people are dating because they want a husband right now, or some people just feel like they ain't gonna never date because they're not what people are looking for. But I want to just tell you this, that there is a relationship that supersedes every relationship. And so if you shift your mind off of your flesh and off of what you want and what society and culture tells us is important in life, it looks cute when people are hugged up on Instagram, and it looks cute when you're at Starbucks and it looks like you guys know each other's order. But at the end of the day, like, can you deal with him when you got to wash his clothes? Can you deal with him when he ain't bringing home the money that you really need him to bring home? Can you deal with him when he's letting you down? Can you deal with him when it seems like he wants to spend more time with his friends instead of you? I mean, like, it's so much more into relationship than just the mere dating. So I think we need to get past the whole idea of it, if that makes sense. And just more so delve into relationship. What does relationship look like? We don't date just to date. Like, dating is like your practice quiz before you take the big test. That's why you never really supposed to date long. Like, you get the information, you hit the multiple choice, and now you can write the essay because you should be getting it. Like, you should be practicing. And then you get into marriage, and the dating is just a part of it as well. I'm not married yet, so I can't say for sure, but from the people that I hear from behind the chair, some of my friends who are married, they're like, the one thing I wish we did better was we dated now. Like, we dated before we were married, but we don't know how to date now. But I think a lot of that is because you get caught up in the actual image of, oh, it looks cute because I got somebody that's on my team, or I'm justified because I have a man. And you really aren't into the actual relationship, because in the relationship, it should be a perfecting of who you are. It should be what you bring to the table. It should be conditioning you to be more unconditional, if that makes sense. The other thing I want to leave you guys with, me walking off this whole single life, is that I had to come to a place where I realized I had a lot of forgiveness to do. That I had built up resentment toward the men I had dated. Because even though I dated casually and I dated for my own selfish reasons, I still wanted certain things out of it. And I manipulated or used my gifts to try to like get to pull out from guys what I wanted, and really knew I didn't have no great meaning for it, or like I didn't have an end for it. And because they didn't give me what I wanted. So example, I dated a guy and we were dating for maybe like, because I'm a long dater, child, we probably dated for 4 years. In those 4 years, even though I said I didn't want to get married, because of image and what other people think, I felt like in 4 years you should propose. Like, we shouldn't just be dating for 4 years. Like, have you met me? And then we get to this place, now I'm pregnant. And he used to always say, like, I can't afford to marry you. So now I'm pregnant, and I'm like, well, pregnant, like, no, you can't afford a baby because you clearly couldn't afford a wedding. And he's like, I can afford a child. And so it was this moment where he's excited about a baby, but I'm hurt because I feel like you can afford for me to have a baby, but you can't afford to marry me. And my point in telling that is that it built up this resentment. If I was to start dating again, that same insecurity would go into my next relationship. So when God told me I wasn't ready to date, it was because it was a lot of stuff I needed to get out of me. It was a lot of stuff he had to show to me so that when I go in dating, I'm not just dating for the fun of dating. This is not a game. Like, if you're dating, you're moving toward marriage, covenant, something that's very important to God, a way to worship him at a heightened level, a way to multiply and produce for this earth, for his kingdom. So I just had to look at things completely different. So maybe with being single, my last thing I want to leave you with, or the biggest thing I want to say, is that everybody's at a different place in being single. You need to define first who you are, whose you are, meaning, what am I here to do on this earth? Not relationship-wise. What am I here to do? What is my passion? What are my gifts? How do they make room for me? What room should I be in? Father, who am I to you? What do you say about this masterpiece you created? Because your self-identity is what causes you to be whole before you go into a relationship. 2, let go of the thought of just dating, because dating is a concept. Relationship is what you really should be after. 3, understand that you need to have like a cleaning. Like, you need to have those moments where you just self-aware. We're not ever going to be perfect, but you need to be able to deal with you before you can reflect or, bounce off of somebody else. And then the last thing is, like, if you're going to date, make sure you're not going in with nothing but understanding that you should be dating toward the purpose of God, not toward just having a good time or because somebody can do something for you or because it looked good or feel good in that moment, or you're trying to prove something to your friends, family, and all those other people, that feel like, why you still single? Or yourself. I guess that's it. I mean, leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I don't have very climactic endings because at the end of the day, I feel like I'm still working this thing out. Like, I haven't been on a date in so long, it's pretty ridiculous. But I don't feel lonely. I just know that I'm alone in this season, but I'm alone with the right person because God's teaching me. All right, talk to you soon.